Organisations like the National Housing Federation have been clear about how we tackle the housing crisis, and that is we need better regulation, not less. And we need a wholesale review of the planning system, not tearing up with regulations or trying to add things in on the fly. The introduction of grey belt, which is what this motion is about, is actually not good regulation. At its best, it's imprecise. At its worst, it's something far more sinister.
The housing crisis could have been prevented, but successive governments, Conservative and now Labour, have only looked at it from one direction: building new houses for market sale, predominantly the executive homes on green fields that are so profitable for the big house building companies. So many green areas lost, and now Labour are having their go with grey belt. We can actually see how that grey belt is working out in practice. In the ward, which I and my colleagues are privileged to represent, we do have an old petrol station at one end of the village, and green belt fields at the other end of the village. And guess where in that village 2 grey belt planning applications have been made, one of which has been already granted? I'll give you a clue: not the petrol station.
The communities, the one I represent, are now facing real threats to their green spaces. The community in Biley has seen a large area of green space lost to housing, and yet there's been no investment in local roads, local public transport, local doctors, dentists or other services. Of the thousands of new houses approved each year, only a fraction are actually built, and that is because it's ultimately not in the housing developers' interest to tackle the chronic housing shortage. They make more money from a restricted market. So what we're seeing from the Labour government at the moment is not going to address the situation.
Ultimately, though, it's a time for a planning system that puts local people, not developers, back in charge.